Good morning, everybody. Welcome once again to our wonderful Thursday tea program. I'm Jennifer Jinko, your host, and with me is
Pharmacist Adama Akano.
yes. So today we are going to be discussing a very wonderful and yet engaging topic. We are going to be talking about why it is important for children to consume vitamin C daily, if possible every day. Of course, how can we get to encourage our children to consume vitamin C? We know with vitamin C consumption, sometimes there's that sour taste underneath. So, how do you encourage children who are used to sweetened flavors of almost everything that you want to give them? How do we get to encourage them to take vitamin C tablets, vitamin C capsules, and the rest of it?
So yes, children are actually most children love to take sweetened beverages, sweetened things, and I mean with the coming weather and everything, I think it's really important that we encourage our children
To
to
consume
consume
a lot
vitamin
of
C
vitamin C,
and
yeah.
a lot of it as much as they can.
Of course.
Yes, and also to ensure that you stay within the required dose or
Exactly.
dosage for children.
That was why I made the statement of if possible every day, because
Yes.
it's not all of them, depending on their age range, that you might want to give the tablet every day.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so let's just go over to our tea talk. Today we are going to be having some green tea
Green tea.
with pomegranate, raspberry, and strawberry. It's a
Strawberry.
wonderful combination.
Yeah.
And on our tea talk, we are going to quickly be discussing what the weather is about. The coming weather is going to be a Harmattan season. So how we're going to go about, getting our children to adapt to the coming weather conditions. The Harmattan season is usually dry. It comes with kata. It comes with some cough.
I
It
don't
comes
think
with dry skin.
that's the thing is, do we even have Hamatan in Lagos? Because
Okay.
Lagos season is, I think our Hamatan is in January
Okay.
or maybe later part of December. But
December.
yes, I mean the coming season can even be more brutal than
Of
the
course.
rainy season.
Yeah. For a fact that it might not happen so early in Lagos doesn't mean that
It's not
other parts of Nigeria
yeah.
might not experience
Yes,
it.
exactly.
So we are talking generally about what it could be in other parts of the country notwithstanding. So how do we manage our children? How do we put them up to this coming season? Because of course as adults you immediately know what you can do to manage your dry skin, what you can do to keep your health in check at this time. But with children, they will not tell you, their skin will be all whitened and scratchy, and they'll just be running about with the whole situation. They don't even mind. You know how children, their minds are that they just want to be happy and play with their time. So how do we get them to at least be fixed in this season so that they don't get marks on their skin that can turn into scars? Because of course in dry season, in the Harmattan season, if you don't oil your skin properly or moisturize it, it's possible that you might have cracked skin or even an easily injured skin from all
Because
those
of the
scratches.
dryness.
Yes, and with kids they have more sensitive skin than adult. They have more fragile skin than adults. So how do we go about fixing our
Okay,
children?
okay. So when it comes to children, well, even generally everybody, because I like to believe that the Hamatan season affects both adults and
And
both
children
children.
are like
Yes, but when it comes to children, I would say that the number one thing would be to keep them hydrated and moisturized. During the Hamatan season, just as the weather is dry, so is the dryness affecting our skin,
in nature.
affecting everything. So you have to also stay hydrated from inside out. You notice that people are drinking more water
Exactly.
during the Hamatan season. People are more thirsty. They'll be like, so someone that doesn't drink water before will be like, as you're seeing me now, I've drank like 3 bags of sachet water. I don't even know what's
It's
happening.
already happening to
Yes,
me.
but a lot of people don't
Yeah.
understand that it's actually the
The
weather.
weather situation.
Yes. So the first step would be to stay hydrated. Then the second step would be to moisturize your children. So now we can moisturize our children with there are a lot of body lotions, moisturizing body lotions, but it's also important to look into things like shea butter, coconut oil, all these things.
The natural.
Yes, because what
moisturizers.
they do is when you use your moisturizer and you use like shea butter or coconut oil on top, it seals up the
Seals it.
moisture and allows the child to stay moisturized for
Okay.
longer, especially when they have to go to school or when they have to, maybe they have extracurricular activities or places they have to be
Exactly.
that they don't have to be at home where they can be moisturized at all times. So yes, That's what I recommend.
That's great. I like the area of staying hydrated because, of course, sometimes when we think of weather conditions and how people should adapt, we don't think of what goes inside. We always think of, okay, what do they do on the outer layer, the surface area. But talking about hydration, which is even the utmost compared to getting moisturized and even other things that has to do with getting well cladded, covering your body so that your skin is not exposed to dust, you don't have all those faded skin and all that. So it's a great one. So when it comes to hydration, I wanted to ask a question because it always comes to me. Beyond taking water as a way to hydrate, are there fruits, natural fruits that can also help to keep you hydrated?
Well, when it comes to hydration, the number one thing you should hydrate with is water.
Okay.
Now, and this is a very good question, by the way. I would commend it because a lot of parents also make the mistake of saying, oh, maybe this child has drank orange juice now. She has drank watermelon juice. No, water is water. Simply put, water is water. So when we talk about hydration, we're talking about, yes, it could be, I mean, in terms of everything, we're talking about fluid, but water is the key component for hydration because our body is made up of 70% water. So water is water. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot have fruits to hydrate you, but even when you have fruits, in addition to that, when nature calls or when nature requires that you hydrate your body, what you need to go for, no matter the amount of fruits you eat, you will not get that satiety that water would give. So you need to drink water and you need to give children water.
Thank you very much, Madam. Trust me, I must say that out of all the liquids that we use to get hydrated, water is still the most competitive. I don't know if there's any drink out there that can be a substitute for water.
No,
water is just water. Yes. It's H2O is water. So please, let's try to always keep our kids hydrated with water, sufficient water, enough water. Is not a substitute for orange juice or watermelon juice, because yes, the example you actually gave made me to start this question. So parents are usually of the opinion that, oh, they gave their kids a lot of juice. She had a lot of juice this month, she's going to be peeing all around, he's going to be peeing. I don't want that, giving him water. What's the use? There is already water, and I use water to blend the watermelon, I use water to blend it. So you get that a lot, and you see that they don't want to. So it's really a way to go, even beyond the juice. Of course, the juice and other natural fruits can help to add, just like you've said, nutrients to it, but it still doesn't substitute the way water will hydrate the body of that child. Even as an adult, water cannot actually substitute any drink, any juice at all. Water is water. Thank you very much for that.
You know, as we're talking, I was thinking about this. I think it's Fela's song.
Okay.
The one that he says, water. You know, the enemy. Yeah, it's just playing in my head.
So that is it. Even with keeping the skin, let's even talk about the outer layer. Yes. Keeping the skin in check, you need to shower well with good water. With good water, as in good water. When we talk about good water, I think I used to have an argument then with my mom that she would be of the opinion that no, back in the east, in the village, soft water is what we have there, and it's usually the best for skin. This Lagos is hard water that you see, and I don't know if it's really good for skin, but we that are born and bred in Lagos, so I was thinking that no, if it's not hard water. I remember many of the times I went to East using soft water. Every time I came out from the bath, I didn't even feel like I had showered, because it would be feeling slimy and it won't take out the soap so well. And she argued that is actually the best water.
Yeah, so there's actually a lot of scientific back and forth. A lot of people believe that soft water is actually better for the skin as compared to hard water, because the question is, what exactly is hard water? So what exactly is hard water? And most times the things that for Lagos water, most Lagos water is hard or considered hard because it's been treated. As we know, Lagos is a waterlogged area and we don't really have the best of water. So many places, so many locations get that treated water. So some people believe that the soft one is better. But then again, this is also where evolution and adaptation comes into play.
Exactly.
Because most people born in Lagos tend to be adaptable to that water, because that's the only thing they've known
That is it.
since birth.
So that was bringing me to the other side of the conversation. That was the part I usually argued with my mom, that once someone is born in a place and bred there, the person naturally adapts to most of the systems, which
Yes.
includes the water system, the water adaptation. Now my skin is already used to hard water, and then I go to somewhere that I'm not usually at every day, and I use soft water. Certainly my body is going to tell me this is not what I'm used to.
Yes,
Understand?
it's
So
not.
that's where adaptation comes.
No, that's
in.
very true, because it's not even just being born. Just that it's the human thing.
Psychology and
Once
all
you're
that.
fixed in a position or in a place where
Wow.
yes, your body adapts. It's just like when you wake up, you want to shower and there's no hot water, for instance. The moment you walk up, you can,
Yeah.
and after
It's
like
different.
a minute, your body regulates to that
Yeah,
water
the
and you
stresses
shower.
and all
Yes.
that happens.
So it happens in so many places. Even when you go to cold regions, you see someone that maybe is traveling for the first time.
Yeah.
The person is telling you that, the cold is.
It's something else.
I cannot breathe. I cannot this. I cannot. And you see the person next winter wearing a singlet, like, don't worry now. Now we day now. So the body tends to adapt to so many things. So many things. Even with like we living in Nigeria where there is a malaria endemic zone.
So, yeah.
That's why we can be exposed to mosquito bites. You see somebody, they'll telling you, I'm not treated malaria in 1 year or 6 months. And they've been constantly be exposed to mosquito. Now, I'm not saying that we should expose ourselves,
To
but
mosquito.
we are in a malaria endemic zone.
Yeah.
Unlike someone who hasn't lived in Nigeria maybe
Experienced
5-10 years,
Yeah.
comes into Nigeria.
Lagos especially.
The body is going to experience a shock
Exactly.
because what is happening?
What's this?
So it's just humans are quite adaptable.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for Madama. Okay, so that brings us formally to the other part of our questions. But before we do, maybe we want to soak our tea bags.
Did you notice what I did with the tea?
Okay, what did you do?
The pomegranate, raspberry, and strawberry has a high vitamin C content.
Oh,
Yes.
I see. Okay, so we're taking a high vitamin C based.
Yeah,
tea.
vitamin C. And green tea. Obviously, it has to be green tea if I'm choosing the tea. Because Jennifer will always have
Don't put
some.
me up to this. Anyway, what I like
Jennifer-
about this tea is the scent, the
Yeah.
strawberry pomegranate, the jam is
Yes, it's
out of this
yeah,
world. It's
and I'm sure it's going to be
and it's
flavorful.
going to be flavorful, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we allow our tea back, so let's just go back to our questions. First question: why is it important to consume vitamin C generally, not just for children?
Yes.
Why is it important for
Consume vitamin C.
us to
So,
consume?
vitamin C has a lot of benefits. Both for the skin, both for everything. It's a precursor to so many things. But the most important benefit, I would say, whenever this question is being thrown, is for immunity. Vitamin C boosts our immune, like it's one of the building blocks for improving your immune system. Whenever your immune system is compromised, vitamin C. If you've just treated an infection or used an antibiotics, vitamin C.
is the get-go.
Yes, vitamin C is one of the building blocks when it comes to boosting immunity. Then, in addition to that, it has a lot of other benefits. For example, vitamin C is anti-aging. It helps to slow down.
Aging process
Yes,
on the skin.
yes. It also helps with clearer skin, to brighten up your skin. So especially we are brown skin, we're prone to we're melanated, we're prone to having like brown spots or dark spots when we have injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes, and vitamin C really helps to keep the skin bright. Then another beautiful would I say advantage, or one of the things I love about vitamin C is vitamin C acts as one of the building block for collagen production.
Okay.
And we know that collagen is what keeps the body supple and just soft looking and beautiful. Yes, and vitamin C, having enough vitamin C would also help your body in the production of collagen.
Collagen.
Yeah, so that's
That's beautiful. Okay, thank you very much for Madam.
You're welcome.
So that takes me to a second question back to the children. I'm very crucial about children this period because I always feel adults have a way of navigating, taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
But with these kids, I think we need to get our moms to know how important it is to also look at their ends because they can't handle themselves. They can't say, okay, this is where it's pinching me. They can't say,
No,
this is
yeah,
why
what you're saying is because I remember, I think maybe 2 weeks ago, I went for a program like it's a Friday evening thing. So it's inside a space, so it was very cold. And this lady was with her baby, I think maybe 2 years old.
Okay.
So the baby was just coughing like yeah, constantly. He couldn't be controlled. She just kept on
Like 2 years old.
yes, and it just and the whole place was quiet because there was a speaker, and then you just hear everything is and her nose was congested.
She'll
The
be going
mom,
through a lot of things.
yeah, so the mom just kept on. So after a while, obviously, they were sitting right behind I and some of my friends, and after a while, like we could see the mom's frustration because she also had like a smaller baby.
Oh.
Then the toddler and I think a 4-year-old or so.
Wow.
And she was just by herself.
That's
So
very
after a
hard.
while, one of my friends turned, I was like, well, let me assist you with the coughing baby. And she's not like that. I don't know why this baby is coughing. That she was not coughing before. It was since we entered this place. And the baby didn't even mind. I think she was even playing game on her mom's phone. She was she was playing her game. So, but we noticed that when my friend took her outside, the coughing subsided.
Yeah.
So we realized that so me obviously coming from a pharmacist perspective, so I started talking to the mom about the possibility of an allergic reaction, that it could be the cold, it could be different things. So that was when why I'm saying this story is because how you said that children don't have the capacity to even explain or in some cases even understand what is happening to them.
Exactly.
They are just there, just reacting to the external factors. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Pamadama, for that analogy. Beautiful one. Okay, so let's now talk about how we can actually encourage children to take vitamin C. No, before we do that, let's talk about how we can give children vitamin C. I'm not talking about just in the tablet form. I'm talking about what are the sources we can use to achieve administering vitamin C to them, because with kids, just like we said earlier, they don't like anything sour taste. So how do we encourage that they consume? And mind you, if you're going to go to the area of fruits that have vitamin C, that is vitamin C infused, remember that most or some of them actually have sour taste. In reality, that underlying sour taste. So how can we achieve this?
Okay, so I love this question. Yeah, it's as if I love all your questions.
Yeah.
But I love this question, especially when it comes in terms of food, because you know that the major ways we can get vitamin C into our system is by consumption.
Sure.
So, and the first source is usually food. I always tell people the first source of everything is food. So we start looking at supplementation because we most likely are not getting enough nutrients from the food we are consuming. Now, when it comes to food, when you have children are obviously picky. Most kids are picky eaters, and again, peculiarity taste because they want. So I always try to encourage moms that you can consider working that vitamin C into something your child is going to have.
Okay.
For instance, if you want to bake your child a cupcake or a cake or a donut, or you want to make a waffle, instead of making just plain waffle, you can choose to make blueberry waffles. Blueberries have high vitamin C content. You can choose to make raspberry or strawberry waffles. So as you're blending your mix, and when you're mixing everything together, you can blend in some strawberries. Your child is not only just getting waffle for breakfast, they are now getting like vitamin C packed waffle. So you factor it in. If maybe you have something that your child likes to drink, you can consider maybe juicing. Like if you have, maybe your child likes to drink Ribena or something, you can factor in maybe juicing Ribena with orange juice. If for a child, it's just all about working it into the food
Meal.
they are already eating. Just like if you want to make indomie for a child, for instance. Like personally for me, when I want to eat pasta or any kind of
Easy meal.
yes, I always make sure I work in some vegetables in it. Like I'm not eating it just plain.
Just plain.
Yes, I'm
It's
not
very
just
necessary as an adult, yeah.
so I'm not just eating it. I make sure I have some sort of fiber in it. I have veggies, So the same thing works for kids. You can blend in. You can also add it into their oats.
Okay.
You can blend it into their cereal. Just try to work these things into their food.
Their food.
And if you're lucky enough to have kids that actually can enjoy veggies without and fruits without there's some sweet tasting ones though, like pineapples, watermelon. Those ones are sweet tasting ones. If you find the sweet tasting ones,
Yeah.
you can also give them to suck on it. You can even make popsicles. I've seen that. Even popsicles, even the ice lollies, like the ones that you blend or juice. You put the sticks inside and then they just there's just so many creative ways today. You can go on social media. Yes. So, and in addition to that, we also have the idea of chewable tablets and syrups for kids that in addition to supplement what you're already doing with food, you can also, so when it comes to, which is why I love Pelrose personally, because I know a lot of parents will say, oh, my child, no, this my baby, tablets cannot even pass as fruit. But I have, again, I think I've said this on this our Thursday talk, but I'll say it again. I'm yet to see a child that came in contact with Pelrose and did not
rejected it.
I am yet to see. In fact, what you constantly see are kids saying things like, oh, hey, mommy, that's sweet you gave me the other day. Mommy, it's time for us to take sweet again. At least my nephew and my niece, they will always remind their mom, like clockwork.
The funny thing with kids, they don't rest until
they get that thing.
They not just even get it until that thing finishes.
Yes.
So as parents, you even need to be careful when it comes to Pelrose, which of course Adama has mentioned. With Pelrose, kids it's almost like, I don't even know, let me not use that word, but they get so addicted to it that if it doesn't finish, they will not rest.
Yeah,
so you have to actually be very careful.
So I think my sister-in-law did this thing where she told like my nephew and my niece that, because every time they'll be like, mommy, it's time for that sweet. She's not telling her, first of all, it's not sweet. It's supplement, it's drug. So they'll be like, okay, mommy, give it to us. Then they'll be like, can I have another one? She now told them that, see, if you take 2, that what doctor says you're taking is 1. If you take 2, you will not grow tall again. She will not tell like, hey, she say yes. She will not tell them, oh yeah, come and take now. They'll be like, no, mommy,
Because she wants to grow tall.
She say, hey, don't you want to be tall like your daddy? So, kids can be easily.
That psychology played that one.
Yes. Or she
used
will
to
tell them,
drink a lot back then.
or she will say, if you take 2 now, police will show up. And my nephew and my niece don't want to use
But this African parenting of using the fear of the child to actually get the child at that stage for the least of it, do you think it's okay? Some people have the opinion that it's not okay.
Yeah, people, I think it is. I mean, I
think
don't
it's
have a
so
problem
anyway.
with it.
And then because there's an age I feel you can control them.
Yes,
That way. As they grow, they'll not realize.
The way
it was
yes,
a dream,
yes, because
but they'll be grateful because this is you trying to save them from,
because
the harm at that
exactly,
time.
because I feel like it's not meant for like a harmful intent.
No, it's not.
It's only when it starts being, because most people that do it, or most parents, is actually to use and put their kids in line. When it starts becoming, or when I found out it is when it starts becoming like harmful or having a negative impact on the child. I mean, when I was growing up, my mom told me, because then anything you give me, I will swallow it. Whether it's orange pills or guava pills or I don't even pawpaw, like I don't understand what it means that you eat something and
Oh God, children are so
even
delicate.
gum, like even chewing gum, like if chewing gum should enter my mouth, I'm swallowing
Are you
it.
serious?
One day my mom
Wow.
called me and she said, see, the day that tree in your tummy will start growing, it's going to grow, tear your mouth. That was the last time.
You swallowed this.
That was the last time I swallowed. I think even food eating, like then when you give me rice, I didn't know that you have to chew. I'll just swallow. If I'm eating this, mommy will like Jesus. Like if I'm eating yam, you will literally see me choking. Because I'm swallowing chow from here.
Oh my
But after
Are you
that
serious?
conversation,
Oh wow.
that was the last day. Even till today as an adult, like obviously I know that I mean orange cannot grow out of my stomach, but that consciousness is still
Still
there.
there.
So whenever I put food in my mouth, I'm going to make sure that I masticate properly, like chew it down, and it will. It's I don't really see. I actually enjoy it.
My
I enjoy
mom used to
trying
do
different
the
families.
udala trick back then.
Yeah, that's
When we swallow udala seed,
You
there was
said
a day I cried my head
it
down.
will grow,
He said,
don't
"Don't worry, it will grow in your tummy." I was crying. I was rolling. There's this thing our mothers do. My mom can use her finger to go through my gut and make me
yes,
bring
yes.
out the
Food.
So I was telling her, "Mommy, please
Come and
open
do
my
it."
throat."
Come on, do it.
I was crying that she should open my throat. She was like, "Me, open your throat. It will grow there." I was rolling on the floor, crying. It was so
It's
comical.
so funny
But
when
looking back, after I cried, when she had felt that, well, let her not go and cry and develop a headache. She not come. She not said, "Don't worry, to not grow."
no,
That she was only joking. Now don't worry, I'll put it.
my
out.
mom
I
is
should
so
stop crying.
mischievous. She will
Oh.
never, she will even tell you after crying, go and sleep. You need the rest.
African moms, honestly,
Oh,
they
God.
deserve a special award. Like we should just call an association of African mothers
And
union
it's-
and give all of them an award because
It's just the same everywhere. Like
it's the same
everywhere.
everywhere. Yeah. Even in their abroad, those black moms, they are using the same formula. They are doing the
trick,
same thing. You know, it's wonderful all the same.
Yeah, and but on a more serious note, I would also say that when it comes to things like drugs, especially vitamin C, as much as you play that trick on your kids, it's also important to keep the drug away from
It's always
children
one of the
in a
packaging.
place where that is
From the
inaccessible to
children.
them, because that would also help.
That will help.
So that maybe you can keep it on a shelf higher than where they can reach, or a cupboard where you can lock, because we're talking about drugs.
Okay. So in case a parent is careless and drops a tablet or drops the can of vitamin C and the child consumes, like, children can be very mischievous. The child goes down like, let me take as much as I can because I don't know if mom is gonna give me today again. And the child gobs like 5 tablets at once. Should the parent be in panic? Should parent be worried?
Okay, so again, based on medical regulation, once there's a danger of overdose, it's better to call the nearest hospital or take the child to the nearest hospital. But before you get to the hospital, the first thing you do is to hydrate, especially when it comes for vitamin C. Now, please, I would also like to state that this is specific for vitamin C tablets. It's because vitamin C is water soluble.
Okay.
Yes, which is why and most times when you take an overdose, chances are if you're hydrated, you pass the excess in your urine.
Yeah, you're right.
So, but it's also important to get to the nearest hospital, because in some cases you might also notice things like diarrhea, stomach upset, you know.
So is there a flush mechanism for it? Is there a way? a flush
The doctors will be in the best position to, yes,
to check that and see?
yes,
that's
to
okay.
see the quantity in the system, if the child requires a flush,
Okay.
an IV flush, or just to know the best thing. But I'm just pointing out the situation with diarrhea and stomach upset.
That's an
So
instance.
yes, which also has to be monitored
Okay.
by the doctor. So
No
yeah.
problem. So beyond everything, prevention is always better than cure. So simply
Yes.
keep the can out of the reach of children.
Yes.
Alright, thank you very much.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
so Famadama, thank you very much for staying with us on this episode. Are there other things you would like to add beyond everything I've said about vitamin C, about children, about general consumption?
Yes, I mean, give your child parent vitamin C. That's something I would like to add. I mean, see, I always used to say, even whether I'm on this show, whether I'm not on this show, Pear Rose is something I recommend daily. Pear Rose. And vitamin C is such an important supplement, because while I was in uni, we had these medical rotations that we
Okay.
did as young pharmacists, and you have to work in the hospital. So we're working in general hospital, teaching hospital. So you have to go from department to department, working with doctors. And one thing that stood out for me was that almost in every department, vitamin C was given.
Okay.
Almost the only place I didn't really see vitamin C was in Renal, because we didn't really work in Renal. We worked with and where they were doing the what's it called, dialysis.
Dialysis. Okay.
Yeah, so obviously we're just there helping, assisting with dialysis. But in almost every, whether it's accident or emergency, in wound healing, vitamin C plays a major key. And you see, most parents that their children consume vitamin C, they will always tell you that I can't remember the last time that we treated any sort of infection. Like, they're not worried. Like, you know how they say once the kids resume school, you would know that they resumed school because something is flying around, they're coughing, their nose. Or you see with parents that always give their kids vitamin C, you never really
notice all of that.
Yes, you never really notice all of that. So that's one of the reasons why I recommend vitamin C all the time. Yes, and also even in neonatal, like neonatal is the department of
Newborns, yeah.
We notice that most times, once the baby is out, the doctors will write out like some supplements for the mom, especially in a case where maybe the mom's immune system has been compromised. Maybe she has some sort of maybe infection or something. Maybe there was a tear or something, blood entered the baby's mouth or just something. They always recommend vitamin C. They will say they should get the stopper. They want to have like to start on the baby immediately. So I think vitamin C is such an important supplementation, and it should be a part of our day-to-day activities. And this stands out to all both adults and children, because even vitamin C supports sperm health, it supports egg health, it supports everything, your collagen. So even in older adults, middle age, young adults, everybody should be consuming vitamin C.
Thank you very much for Madam. I hope really sends the message out on this wonderful topic, and we hope to see you once again on our next episode. For Madam, I think you should make the closure.
Okay. All right. Thank you for doing me the honors. I would like to say, before I close, I'd like to say that our Perros Vitamin C is a chewable strawberry flavored vitamin C tablet, and it comes in 500 milligram, and it can be consumed by children from the age of 7 to adults. Now, the strength you take is dependent on your daily requirements. Most importantly, consult your pharmacist or your general practitioner for your dosing. And our vitamin C, Perros Vitamin C, is available in all community pharmacy stores across the nation. And you can also feel free, if you've looked in your area and you can't find it, feel free to give us a call. Our number will be placed across above. Feel free to give us a call. We'll be here to talk to you. We'll find out your location, and we'll make sure that you have Perros around. And this show was brought to you by Lean Edge Pharmaceuticals Limited. We love hanging out with you every Thursday. See you, same place, same time.
Same place, same time.
Another Thursday.
Another Thursday.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Okay.
This tastes really tasty.
It's flavorful.
It's flavorful.
See, I picked good tea. As I say, vitamin
Well, there are other
you
options.
say vitamin C. What was that your English word? It is. I wonder what they use for bland. No, bland.
It's drop.
It's drop. Vitamin C is so drop. And green tea is so drop. Green tea is so drop. That's why I drink black tea. No, you see that green tea can be
This one is actually very nice.
Yeah, green tea can be eventful. I really love a good cup of green tea.